Hello everyone and welcome my mystic friends. As we move through the middle of July, we are now going to be called to look inward. We have several planets stationing retrograde. So we're going to have Saturn and we're going to have Neptune and Mercury. And so on July 13th, Saturn is going to make its retrograde motion through the sky back into the sign of Pisces. Remember that Aries is the sign of the warrior and Pisces is more of a collective sign. So this is going to be a collective energy that has to do with where are you, the warrior, moving forward through and integrating with the collective. I'm your astrologer, Patricia Tate. I specialize in traditional Western and evolutionary astrology. I am excited to share this transit forecast with you. If you are new here, you can learn more about my offerings at willowgracemystic.com. Thank you for liking and subscribing and for sharing your journey with me. Now, before you watch your rising sign, be sure to catch the bigger picture for the collective energy that I released the video yesterday. It sets the stage for deeper insights or this sign video. So let's dive in. So for my Aries friends, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you have Saturn in your first house of self. It has to do with your identity. It has to do with your physical presence. I always include your business page, your website. It's who you show up and who you are sharing with the world. Now, this is important because it's going to be moving back into your 12th house. So I'm going to circle Pisces here. Now, the 12th house, this has to do with your spiritual healing. It's your retreat. It's your inner truth. Remember, the 12th house is dreams, intuition, psychic ability. It's where we go to release ourselves and break those karmic bonds or to break the record that's been on repeat. This is going to be a time for you to examine where do you show up in the world, whether it's with your actions or with your soul's deep purpose. Saturn in Aries, it pushes us to take personal responsibility. And so for you, it's going to be your personal path, whether it's your deep soul's purpose. The Saturn, when it moves back into the sign of Pisces, it's going to urge you to let go, to release the surrender of the divine timing, and for you to confront your unconscious patterns that still are like lingering or spiraling around in the background. The opportunities that can come from this transit are deep spiritual breakthroughs, a reconnection to your own inner self. And so think about God, Yahweh, Allah, Buddha, your divine source. It's whatever you call or connect to for your higher power. Saturn here brings this increased maturity and a redefinition of how you are going to move through the world. Now, the challenges of a retrograde, remember, rethink, review, revise, rewind, recalibrate. And so in the 12th house, this can bring a sense of isolation, fatigue, uncertainty around what is your purpose, old fears, subconscious wounds. They can resurface and they're asking for you to look at them, focus, and to heal them. I'm encouraging you to take time to strengthen your relationship with yourself. Strip away any false personas in order to build a foundation of authenticity. This is your time for rest, reflection, not constant busyness, constant movement. This is you having the opportunity to practice patient spiritual discipline and allow yourself the time to slow down and integrate. It's allowing yourself this time to pause in order to hear what is your intuition telling you, your dreams, your guides, to hear the inner whispers and say, where am I supposed to be going? What am I being guided to? Now, double down on your boundaries around your own personal energy. Honor your need for quiet, for reflection. Trust that letting go of any ego-driven goals, they're now going to create space for your soul-driven clarity that's going to come later when it moves direct and moves into the sign of Aries. So a mantra can be, I honor who I am becoming, and I find power in the surrender. My soul knows the way, even in my silence. So Aries, thank you so much for being here. For more on this transit, check out the video for the collective energy and what to expect. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. To all of you who have subscribed, liked, and shared, thank you so much, because it's your energy that fuels my journey. If you're looking for more of an in-depth understanding or a consultation, visit willowgracemystic.com. So for my Taurus friends, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you have Saturn in your 12th house, and it's about ready to make its retrograde motion, moving back into your 11th house, which is ruled by the sign of Pisces. Now remember that this transit, it's going to start from your house of dreams, intuition, it's your psychic ability, your unconscious patterns, solitude, and where we need rest and recovery, where we break the cycle of the broken record of what people have told us. When it moves back into the sign of Pisces, Pisces is our community, our networks. This is like online, like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and it's also in person. It could be work or it could be personal. And so this is our long-term goals, our collective belonging. Having Saturn here, it asks you to first move inward, and it wants you to like clear out old emotional baggage and literally the spiritual debris before you re-enter into the world of groups and social causes and shared ideals. This is going to be your chance to re-examine the communities, the star family, the networks that you are part of. And then ask yourself, does this align with my soul's evolution, my soul's growth? The opportunities that can come from this transit are a spiritual realignment, because this is going to be several months in the making. This is you looking for clarity around your deeper vision, reconnecting with authentic networks, you looking at a redefined sense of purpose within the collective spaces of what you are a part of, what you bring to the table. Now the challenges are disillusionment. Like remember, Pisces dissolves. So this is a letting go, let flow of others that you are no longer resonating with, or an emotional withdrawal, or having difficulty in trusting what is your path ahead. Things are seeming blurry or foggy or unclear, and there can be confusion around what is your role within these larger holes that can now resurface. So I encourage you, first, carve out some sacred time for yourself. That will be the retrograde in the sign of Aries. Aries is you in the 12th house of I need to sit, be alone, and center to be in accordance with divine, or what your guides, your spirits, your life direction. And so sitting alone first and saying, what do I need to release with this emotional baggage that just no longer I can use? And then using the solitude as a time of a spiritual renovation, like cleaning out your spiritual closets. And so then reflecting on the people and the causes that you give or share your energy with or to, and then choosing your alliances wisely, not being afraid to walk away from communities that just no longer resonate with you. I say that people, places, and things, they're in our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And so you taking time to double down on your commitment to align with your goals, with your heart, with your healing. Focus not on only with what you are walking into, but who you are walking with. But also, where are you both going? Where are you traveling to? Who are you taking with you? Who are you aligning yourself with? Your future self, it is waiting on the other side of this conscious disconnection and a deep soul discernment. So Taurus, a mantra for you can be, my solitude, it renews my purpose. I return to community with vision and intention. So Taurus, thank you so much for being here. For more on this transit, check out the video for the collective energy and what to expect. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Thank you to those of you who have subscribed and to continue to support my channel, because it is your energy that fuels my journey. If you're looking to schedule an appointment, visit willowgracemystic.com. So for my Gemini friends, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you have Saturn in your 11th house, which represents your collective purpose, your future planning, hopes, wishes, dreams, goals, and who do you align yourself with. Now, Saturn is here, and it's going to start its retrograde motion backwards. So think of I, Aries, I the warrior, you, and moving backwards, having to rethink some of these groups and networks. Then it's going to move backwards into the sign of Pisces. And so as it moves back into your career, your visibility, your public legacy, your reputation, it's having you, Saturn is urging you to reflect back on your professional roles, your social goals that support your long-term stability. Remember, Saturn has the rings around it, the fence around your yard. And so it's the father of time and karma. And so you are being called to align what is your ambition and to slow it down and to recalibrate and to look at your own reputation, your own leadership abilities, your life trajectory. There's something that's not aligned 100%, and Saturn needs to go back and reflect, revise, refine, recalibrate. Now, the opportunities that come with this is a professional realignment, you refining your long-term goals, you looking at these meaningful leadership opportunities for you. Or this could also deepen your clarity around what it is that you want to support for your social impact. The challenges is about doubt. Remember, Pisces is watery. It's unclear. It dissolves. And so it's doubt around your direction or frustration on slow career progress. Saturn wants to build things that are sustainable over a longer period of time. It doesn't like to rush. It's like good things come to those who wait and who've done the work. Now, this could be frustration around emotional distance that's from the connection of your purpose and your community. Now, I'm encouraging you to take time during this retrograde to reflect on what it is that you're building, your legacy, your reputation, your career, your job, and looking at it and saying, does this truly align with your values? Release any old expectations of what is success supposed to be and where it is rooted within performance or pressure. You are being asked to lead from a place of soul and not strategy. Let your external work be this reflection of your own internal truth. Double down. Think about the rings around Saturn. Double down on your focus on quality over quantity, especially in your commitments and with using your voice. Remember, Aries is you. You are the warrior. It's okay for you to step back and rework your professional foundation. Let this be a time of pause in order for you to act on power and not as a form of weakness. A mantra can be, I align my work with wisdom and my goals with truth. I lead by being fully myself. So, Gemini, thank you so much for being here. For more on this transit, check out my video for the collective energy and what to expect and how to work with it. I'd love to hear your thoughts and the comments below. To those of you who have liked and subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much, because it is your energy that fuels my journey. If you're looking for more on this, you can schedule a consultation at willowgracemystic.com. So for my Cancer friends, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you have Saturn at the top of your chart. It's the most prominent. It's where people see you with your job, your career, your reputation, your legacy. But what's happening is, as Saturn said, there's some things that I need to go back and look at again. I need to finish, refocus, realign, revise, redo. And Saturn is going to move from your career sector, and it's going to move back into the sign of Pisces. Pisces is your ninth house of higher education and broader knowledge and spiritual exploration, belief systems. This could be publishing, legal matters. Having Saturn start with your career and then retrograding back into Pisces, Saturn is now asking what it is that you're building and why are you building it. It's asking you to reflect on those themes and saying, what ideals, what do they guide you with your choice of direction? You are being called to rethink your public identity, to reconnect with your philosophy on truth and faith. Think about this as aligning your outer world with your own inner compass. Now, the opportunities that can come from this transit is this beautiful deepening of an understanding of what is your truth, a redirection towards meaningful work, and a renewed commitment towards your spiritual or your own academic path. Remember that the top of the chart is you as the authority figure, the reputation, the legacy, the career, the job, and balancing career with home. Now, the challenges can feel like this disconnection from the bigger picture, the larger purpose, a fear of outgrowing current roles, and this uncertainty about your own long-term direction of purpose, path, being soul aligned. I'm encouraging you to begin by pausing the external climb. Remember, the 10th house is you as an authority figure, and then turning inward, reflecting on your own inner beliefs. It'll start with you, Aries. What am I chasing after? What am I going after? What do I want to accomplish? And allowing yourself the time to question what success has meant for you and whether that definition, does it still fit? You reflecting on what knowledge, what traditions, what spiritual teachings, your expansion of your mind, your body, your spirit that you've gained from other experiences, what truly still resonates with you. Then double down on your efforts. Remember the rings around the fence around the yard, Saturn having these rings, doubling your efforts in aligning your professional life with your deeper core values. Let your career serve your truth, not override it. Look to rededicate your practices that can expand your heart, your mind. This is not just about where you're going. This is about your path and why you're going there, what it's leading you to. Cancer, a mantra can be, I trust my path will lead to meaning, and my success begins with what I believe in. So Cancer, thank you so much for being here. For more on this transit, check out my video for the collective energy, what to expect and how to work with it. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. To those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much, because it is your energy that fuels my journey. If you're looking for more, you can schedule an appointment at willowgracemystic.com. So for my Leo friends, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you have Saturn now stationing retrograde. It's in your 9th house. This is the house of your experiences, visas, passports, cross-cultural experiences of you connected with others in order to expand your mind, your soul, your spirit, your thoughts, your ideals. Saturn in the sign of Aries represents you going back into the sign of Pisces. Now, Pisces is in an area of your life that has to do with shared resources, intimacy, and sex, and soul-level transformation. And so the shift is going to be from your beliefs, teaching, expansion, mind, body, spirit, and then shifting into where you are with others, the collective, or one-on-one relationships. The eighth house is the house of taboo topics. And so you are being called to slow down, to pause, to reflect on your own personal worldview, and then to go even deeper, not to be afraid, to dive into those taboo topics, to bring them up into emotional contracts and these power dynamics, and look at where they live beneath your own conscious intentions. This is about maturing through trust and truth and vulnerability. Remember that the eighth house, it's about power dynamics and it's about fear. And so working through those things. The opportunities of this transit are spiritual and emotional breakthroughs, like those aha moments that can give you the deep healing that comes through partnership, and the chance to transform. How do you give? How do you receive? How do you trust? And how do you grow that? And so the challenges come from fear of losing control and resurfacing wounds around betrayal, around abandonment, around discomfort that has to do with vulnerability. The eighth house is where we go and we take off the bandage and say, it's been long enough. I need to air it out, clean it out, heal it, cover it back up, and allow some time to process. And so I'm encouraging you to just start by re-examining what are your belief systems, and look at what you have taken as truth that just no longer supports your personal soul's evolution, and saying, I have to have this right in my mind. Releasing these rigid ideals that can allow you to have space for mystery and emotional depth. And then turning towards what you most fear, and about feelings, and doubling. Remember, Saturn has these rings around it. So think about it as, I need to double my commitment to be honest with emotional expression. Because healing, it comes from naming what is the unspoken, and like poking it and saying, this is where it hurts and this is what needs to be healed. And then honoring your energetic need for intimacy and connection and for depth. You're not meant to hide your pain. You are meant to transform through this. So Leo, a mantra can be, I release what weighs me down. I rise through truth and intimacy and soul renewal. So Leo, thank you so much for being here. For more on this transit, check out my video for the collective energy and how to use it, what to expect. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. To those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much, because it is your energy that fuels my journey. If you're looking for more, schedule a consult at willowgracemystic.com. So for my Virgo friends, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you have Saturn in your 8th house. The 8th house is where you are intimately connected with other people. And so Aries represents you and your connection with other people. This is the deep psychological depth, intimacy, joint resources. This is financial resources, emotional resources, spiritual resources, because this is also the house of sex. It's the house of alimony and child support. It's literally where you are intimately connected with other people, places, and things. Now, then it's going to retrograde. So think about rethink, review, revise, realign. It's going to move back into your partnership sector. So if the 1st house is you, the 7th house represents everybody else that you come into contact with. Best friends, significant others, clients, open enemies, exes. This is the house of personal and professional connections. And so the house of relationships, your soul contracts. So Saturn here, Saturn first, in Aries, you retrograding back, it's asking you to re-examine your own emotional boundaries through looking at a sense of trust and power dynamics. And then when it moves back. It's inviting you to assess your most important partnerships and through the lens of maturity and accountability, because Saturn likes to build things that will stand the test of time. It's karma, it's time, it's karma, it's time. And so the opportunities that can come from this transit are emotional empowerment for you, healthier relationship dynamics of give and take. Remember, the seventh house are contracts and negotiations, and a deepening of commitment that's rooted within mutual respect. Saying what you say, meaning what you say, but saying it with love and intention. Now, the challenges that can come from this are struggles with control or codependency that come back up, or you having the control or lack of control, or feeling like you're codependent or somebody is codependent on you. There's this fear of intimacy, or a resurfacing of wounds from past relationship patterns. Like when it goes retrograde, you'll be able to see where I have repeated similar patterns. And so I'm encouraging you to begin with radical honesty about what is your emotional landscape? What does it look like? What do you give and what do you withhold? And then what do you expect? And then asking yourself, why? What contributes to this? Because that's a wound. And let yourself be free to feel what you have usually avoided, and then apply the same level of truth to your relationships. And like the rings around Saturn, like all the different rings, this is about doubling down your dedication to being authentic and conscious communication, conscious connection, and not being afraid to renegotiate your relationship agreements. You deserve connections that are built on respect and clarity, not confusion and sacrifice. This is a time for you to be focused on realigning your connections with others. So a mantra can be, I choose partnerships that honor my growth. I build love on truth and on trust. So Virgo, thank you so much for being here. For more on this transit, check out my video on the collective energy, what it is, how to work with it, and what to expect. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. To those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much, because it is your energy that fuels my journey. If you're looking for more, you can schedule a consultation at willowgracemystic.com. So for my Libra friends, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you have Saturn in your partnership sector. If you are the Libra, Aries represents the other, business partners, significant others, best friends. This is the house of one-on-one relationships where we sign documents, where we learn to negotiate. Having Saturn here in the sign of Aries represents you in that partnership, and then it's going to retrograde and move back into the sign of Pisces. The sixth house for you represents your service to others. It's also your routines, your health, your wellness. It's where you not only take care of yourself, but how do you help and support other people? And so when a planet retrogrades back into that area, it's looking at and re-examining what needs to be finished before you move on with those partnerships. And so this transit, it's asking you to reflect on what is your role, first within relationships, within partnerships. And remember that the seventh house, it can be open enemies and exes and people that we sign contracts and negotiations with. And so you taking a deeper look at what does your day-to-day life look like? And what does your health and wellness, and does it support your emotional and your spiritual well-being? Because if you are in service to others and not caring for yourself, that in itself becomes a form of slavery. And so the opportunities that come from this are you setting stronger boundaries within love, within your energetic time, effort, energy, and a more aligned work-life structure. The sixth house is the balance between your home and your career and finding that unique balance. And so it's a focus on increased self-care through you having intentional routines and balancing your everyday life. Now, the challenges with this transit is, first, you have to take stock in how do you relate, whether you are overextending or with people, places, and things. Are you focused on people pleasing, not using the word no? I remind everybody, it's a complete sentence in and of itself that you owe no explanation to anybody for when and how you use it. Look to step back from obligation and ask what you truly need in order to feel supported from others. And then shift your focus into your day-to-day structure. Doubling, remember, Saturn has the rings around it, so think about the fence around your yard. Doubling your efforts in order to create these rituals that serve your mind, your body, your spirit, and aligning yourself. Rework your calendar. Look to reframe your productivity. Reclaim your energy. You can't give what you haven't nourished in yourself. Libra, a mantra for you can be, I care for myself as deeply as I care for others. My routines, they reflect my values. So Libra, thank you so much for being here. Check out my video for the collective energy and what to expect for more on this transit. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. To those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much, because it is your energy that fuels my journey. If you're looking for more, you can schedule a consultation at willowgracemystic.com. So for my Scorpio friends, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you have Saturn in your health sector. This is the house of mind, body, spirit, how I take care of myself, and also how do I support and give to other people. It's your daily effort. Now, Saturn has the rings around it. In the sign of Aries represents the person, I. And so you needing to have firm boundaries, moving back into nurturing, caring for myself, and then it's going to move back into the sign of Pisces. Now, Pisces is in your fifth house of children, your inner child, creativity, art, beauty, music, joy, self-expression. And so it'll be a time of going back to finish some unfinished business. And so this will be a time when you'll want to reflect on your daily rhythms and whether they allow you the space for your soul to shine. You are being invited to restructure the way that you approach joy and play and your own personal passions. This is the house of tapping into children or your own inner child and a connection and being happy and joyful. Now, the opportunities that can come from this transit are a creative renewal, an increased emotional health through structure, and the reclaiming of your voice, of your own inner child. The challenges that can come from this transit are emotional fatigue, creative blockage, guilt around taking up space within your passions and desires. First, I'm going to encourage you to start by slowing down, identifying what is not working within your own current routine, your day-to-day habits. Where are you overworking? Where are you neglecting your own personal joy? Where are you running on fumes? Then turn your attention inward to your heart. Double your commitment. Remember, Saturn has the rings around it. This is like you saying, I need to double my commitment to make space for fun, for art, for play, for love, for my own inner child. I need to reconnect with what lights me up without apology. Your joy, it's not frivolous. It is the fuel that fires you up daily that you need. Build a container that allows your radiance to return. This is your time, Scorpio, to go inward and reflect. And then when it moves direct again, you'll have the stability, the ability to say, these are my boundaries, to make my mind, my body, my spirit sacred. A mantra for you can be, I give myself permission to heal through joy. I create with purpose and delight. So Scorpio, thank you so much for being here. For more on this transit, check out my video for the collective energy, what to expect and how to work with it. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. To those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much, because it is your energy that fuels my journey. If you're looking for more, you can schedule a consultation at willowgracemystic.com. So for my Sagittarian friends, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you have Saturn in an area of your life that represents your connection to children, your own inner child, art, beauty, music, fun, joy, pleasure, where you're willing to take a risk. Now, Saturn here, Saturn represents you in the sign of Aries, your identity with your own inner child. When it moves back into the sign of Pisces, Pisces is at the bottom of your chart. It's what you are building, your foundation, your home, your family, your literally your foundation. And so it's about emotional grounding. It is traditions. And so when Saturn retrogrades, it's asking you to rethink, review, revise, redefine, and to go back and to finish a few things before it finally moves on in the sign of Aries. And so Saturn is asking you to reflect on, how do you share your heart? How do you share your connection to your own inner child? And then it pulls you inward and it examines your roots, your foundations, your sense of inner safety, security. And so the opportunities that can come from this transit is emotional repair within your home, or a reconnection to like your family history, or a healing of heart that comes through grounding. It goes back, goes within, in order to reconnect with that source that can refuel you. Now, the challenges can be feeling disconnected from joy or your support systems, your foundation, or a resurfacing of grief or instability within your home, or the people that are within your home, or creative shutdown that's due to emotional overwhelm, like creative blockages. And so I'm encouraging you to begin by revisiting what makes you feel alive, what creative or romantic expression it brings you home to yourself. Then journey inward, and then double your commitments. Remember, Saturn has the rings around it. Create this stable foundation to create emotional security from the inside outward. Tend to your own inner child. Revisit your ancestral stories, the ones that based on your early childhood and what you want to create. And then strengthen your connection to where you come from. The heart, it blossoms best when the roots are strong. And this is you going back to finish a few things before moving on. So a mantra for you can be, my roots are sacred. From emotional truth, I build a joyful life. So Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here. For more on this transit, check out my video for the collective energy and what to expect. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. And to those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much, because it is your energy that fuels my journey. If you're looking for more, you can schedule a consult at willowgracemystic.com. So for my Capricorn friends, Saturn is your chart ruler. It's always important for you to be following where it is, what it's doing, and what it's interacting with. So you have Saturn at the bottom part of your chart. It's the cradle. It's your home, your inner security, family, traditions, your ancestral DNA. And then it's going to move backwards into the sign of Pisces. Pisces is in your third house of your mindset, your learning, your communication. It's neighbors, siblings, cousins. It's things that are closer to your home. So we know that before Saturn can move on with building a solid structure for home, it first it needs to backtrack. It needs to retrace some of its steps before it moves on. So you are being asked to re-examine what are your emotional foundations, and then reconsider how your thoughts, how your words, and your own inner world, how do they support you on growing or creating a foundation? The opportunities that can come from this is emotional grounding. This is about healthier communication patterns. When Saturn goes back into Pisces, remember Pisces dissolves, and so it's letting go of bad habits. It's releasing and letting go of connections that no longer serve your best and highest good. And Saturn has the rings around it, and it wants to build things that are sustainable. And so the opportunity is healthier communication patterns with neighbors and siblings and cousins and people that you communicate with on a day-to-day basis. This is also an opportunity to strengthen your own mental clarity and your spiritual voice. Now, the challenges are resistance to vulnerability, struggles in how do you express your needs, and these mental loops. Remember, Neptune, it dissolves, and so it's like being stuck on a track that's tied to past wounds or familial conditioning. Well, this is important because it's identifying what it is so I can break the cycle and I can move forward. I'm encouraging you to begin by rebuilding the emotional structure of your life by asking yourself, what does safety mean to you? And what needs to be said or what needs to be honored within your family or within your inner circle, your social circle? And then double down on your commitment to be clear, to be compassionate in the way that you communicate with others. Reframe how you speak to yourself. We are our own worst critics. And so remember, Saturn retrograde is rethink, review, revise, and the third house is communication. So rethink how you are communicating to yourself. So the way that you're speaking, those repeated thoughts. Let your own inner dialogue become a source of healing instead of criticism. Speak truth, but speak it with love, because your voice, it carries wisdom when it's rooted in emotional truth. So Capricorn, a mantra can be, my voice reflects my truth. I speak with compassion, grounded in self-awareness. So Capricorn, thank you so much for being here. For more on this transit, check out my video for the collective energy and what to expect. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. To those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much, because it is your energy that fuels my journey. If you're looking for more, you can schedule a consultation at willowgracemystic.com. So for my Aquarius friends, Sun, Moon, and Rising, Saturn is one of your chart rulers. It's always important for you to be following where it is and what it's doing. And for you, Saturn is in your third house of communication, and this represents your neighbors, your siblings, your cousins, people that you communicate with on a daily basis. Now, Saturn here has the rings around it, so it's about boundaries in the sign of Aries, which represents you, wanting to move forward, but now needs to go back and finish unfinished business. A retrograde is to rethink, revise, redo, rewind. It's going to be moving back into the sign of Pisces, into your second house of self-worth, cash, property, finances, resources, skill set, talents. The second house is, what do I need in order to feel safe and secure? Saturn retrograding back into it is asking you to examine how your mindset, it either supports or it undermines your sense of self-worth. This is going to be a time for you to truly align your own inner voice with your outer resources, and then to rebuild confidence from the ground up. Now, the opportunities that can come from this transit are financial restructuring. When it goes back, it will say, these are the things that I need to finish before I move forward. So it's renewed self-esteem and empowered communication skills, and clarity around what you truly value. The challenge comes from fear of not being enough, of scarcity mindset thinking, or experiencing difficulty in asking for what you're worth. I remind people and myself all the time, know your value, know your worth. This is who you are showing up to be. So I'm encouraging you to reflect on the thoughts, the stories that you have carried, and especially those that are related to money or your capability or your own personal value. Then, like Saturn's rings, double down. Those are the boundaries. Double down on your resolve to rewrite the narrative. Speak your truth clearly, especially in professional and financial spaces. Ground your worth not in your performance, but it's how you show up. It's your presence. This is going to be a time for you to honor your talents and to advocate for them. The world sees you more clearly when you see yourself fully. So a mantra can be, I am grounded in worth and guided by truth. My words and values, they shape my reality. So Aquarius, thank you so much for being here. For more on this transit, check out my video for the collective energy and what to expect. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. And to those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much, because it is your energy that fuels my journey. If you're looking for more, you can schedule a consultation at willowgracemystic.com. So for my Pisces friends, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you have Saturn in your second house. Now the second house revolves around your cash, your property, your self-worth, your skill set, your talents. And Saturn, with its rings around it, the boundaries around it, wants to move into this area of your life. And then it says, I need to retrace some of my steps, because Aries is you, the warrior, wanting to initiate these things, but having to go back because there's unfinished business. It's going to move back into your first house of your identity, your selfhood. It's your business card, your website. And so this is a very personal transit for you that you will feel, one that's going to ask you to redefine, what do you value? And how do you present yourself to the world? Saturn is trying to help you to strip away those last false layers and to reclaim who you truly are. Saturn says, take off the mask, present yourself fully with no excuses, like warts and all. And so the opportunities that can come from this transit are a strengthened self-concept, like a realigned identity and empowered self-expression and more stable personal foundations. If you've been working on a business card or your website, this will be the final touches. If you have reclaimed your authenticity with friends, but not with family, or vice versa, this will say it's all or nothing. And so let's do this. This is who I am. Now, the challenges come from insecurity of, remember, Pisces energy, it's blurry, it's unfoggy, it's unclear. And there can be fatigue, exhaustion from feeling like I'm having to prove my worth, or uncertainty with your path and your sense of self. I'm encouraging you to start by asking yourself what you truly need in order to feel secure and valued. Get clear with yourself before you can ask that of others. Where have you outsourced your worth? Then return home to yourself. When Saturn goes back into Pisces, that's you tapping into you. And so double down your devotion. Saturn has the rings around it. It's like the foundation. It's karma. It is saying, I need to focus on self-trust, healthy boundaries, clear priorities. Allow your identity to be shaped not by pressure, but by peace. This retrograde, this is your invitation to step fully into your authenticity with structure and with soul. So Pisces, a mantra can be, I stand in my truth with grace and strength. I am enough, just as I am. So Pisces, thank you so much for being here. For more on this transit, check out my video for the collective energy and what to expect. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. To those of you who have subscribed and continue to support my channel, thank you so much, because it is your energy that fuels my journey. If you're looking for more, you can schedule a consultation at willowgracemystic.com.